And hello all my fellow nerds out there, this is Uncle Richie and welcome back once again to Rectifier in Bloom. So, last time we completed, where are they? We completed Still's route. Um, so far we have Greer and Stills done. And next, I wanted to tackle Leor. Now I know Ren's route came out recently, but I kind of want to try to go in order as much as possible. I know I kind of skipped over Glyph, and I promise I will do Glyph's route eventually. But I want to do Leor's route because, well, no, he's kind of one of my favorites already. So anyways, let's take a look. Details. Silly, mischievous bard, Leor has a fondness for music. Honestly, when I get up like that, I kind of had a feeling that he'd be a bard. Monsters and mankind at large. Music, monsters, and mankind at large. If you can put up with his day-to-day theatrics, underneath the glitz and glamour, you might find a man worth making a home with. Yes. Alright, so, Leor's route. Stolen Moments. Written by Keeney. Absolutely not. I'm starting to worry that you people really are allergic to fun. It is a waste of time, resources, and involves unnecessary dangers. There is no point to it. Unnecessary dangers are the best part, big guy. Just let me show you. You try your best to swallow your laughter. Rear's waggling eyebrows across the campfire are not helping. I can handle any dangers, unnecessary or otherwise, by myself. Oh dear. What? You are certainly brave. Could it be, then, that you simply can't dance? Or don't tell me my precious soldier has two left feet. The cup that goes flying towards Leor's hands lands at his feet with a clatter. He seems wholly unfazed. Oh, how my poor heart is breaking. But still, what Leor says intrigues you. Why on earth is he bringing up dancing? Leor brightens immediately, spinning on his heels to finally address all of you. Why yes, as you all know, we're barely an hour's walk away from this delightful little city called Delphine. What may have escaped your attention, my sweets, is that Delphine is most famous for its celebrations. Infamous, even. I see. Is that all? Well, no. There's a wedding happening tonight. The Duke's only daughter finally got hitched to a gentleman with a very padded coin purse, I hear. Shame that people's purses are not the only thing he's been known for padding. Where on earth do you hear all these things? To celebrate this delightful union, the city is holding a week-long festivities. And while we obviously can't stick around for the whole thing, all the scandalous parts will be happening tonight anyway. What exactly is it that you're suggesting, Leor? That we all go out and celebrate, of course. Things have been far too serious lately. We should let our hair down, literally and figuratively. I take it that Ren disagrees. He just likes making me miserable. Say what you will, but I think he's right. We have more important things to be doing than dancing. Oh, Frosty, you ruined me. See, this is what I mean by the Stills White Schnee comparison. He even has a snow nickname, a snow-related nickname. What could possibly be more important than fun? If it's that important to you, Leor, we can put it to a vote. You turn the idea over in your mind. There hasn't been much time for dancing, true. Stills and Ren make a good point. It's dangerous at worst, and a dubious use of your time at best. But Leor really seems to have his heart set on it, and you haven't you ever? I'm not even really sure if this wedding looks like Nephilim don't get married. It could be fun to find out. Alright, everyone, we believe we should attend this wedding. Yes, wedding. Then please raise your hand. We'll go with whatever the majority decides. This hand shoots in the air, but no other hands follow. Layra scans the group one by one, holding an eye contact with everyone who dares look in his direction. Ren stares them down without shame. Emil and Percy simply look away. Greer somehow has disappeared. His cup still half full as seen by the fire. Layra's eyebrows furrow, his lips quiver. But can't help but liken him to a kicked puppy. And then his sad little eyes land on you. You want to come dance with me, don't you, Richie? He barely gives you time to think before he's at your side, his warm hands at your arms. Look at your wonderful dancing partner, darling. There's no shame in it if you aren't. I'm an excellent teacher. You're faintly aware of Ren scoffing to your left, muttering about Leor's cheap tricks. But the warmth of his hands and the mirth of his smile are far more distracting. The silence drags on, expecting eyes to rest upon you. You want? I probably want to keep the peace. I don't know. I'm not sure how this is gonna affect the crowd, so... want to keep the peace. Mathematically, my vote doesn't matter. The outcome has already been decided. You're not sure why Leor even agreed to the vote. It seems quite obvious it wouldn't turn out in his favor. Perhaps that was still his game from the beginning, letting him down gently, so to speak. That's where you're wrong, my darling. Did I miscount? Layra laughs and beckons you to lean down towards him. His breath tickles your ear as he whispers, "You're Daddy's favorite. Your vote might change his mind." And which of them is supposed to be Daddy? You don't bother to lower your voice, and Layra's immediate snort of laughter is oddly gratifying. You file that away to think more later. Stills, of course, I'm not above rigging the game. Daddy sighs tiredly. They have a point. With or without Richie's vote, the majority isn't in your favor, Leor. You don't say. The group has decided that we will stay in camp. How thrilling. We could still have a drink, couldn't we? Excellent point. There's nothing stopping us from celebrating here. We can dance if you insist on it. No offense intended, Frosty, but I take my chances dancing with Ren before I dare conquer up with you. I mean the group generally, Leor. I was not suggesting the two of us dance together. Thank the stars. I'll take what I can get, I suppose. He gives your arm a quick squeeze, flashing a slightly salty smile your way. I appreciate you trying, Angel. It's not your fault this kind of physical idiots who enjoy music and fun. If you want to listen to music, we wouldn't object, Leor. Everyone you love my songs, I think not. Despite all this sulking, Layra does end up playing a few songs, drawn to an audience like a moth to a flame. The evening passes in a mellow dance of drinking companionship. Friends still stubbornly refuse to dance, even when Layra bursts into an improvised song about his alleged two left feet. Cliff attempts to teach everyone a folk dance from his home, but most of the camp refuse to play along. Those feel brave enough for quickly left into dust by Cliff's fast-paced movements. Eventually, Greer returns with an uncorked bottle of wine from somewhere, and reluctantly pours everyone a glass. Though Stills insists Leor only has a sip, last time's incident has not been quickly forgotten. Some things you just can't unsee. Spend most of your evening not the bottle of wine we shared with the others earlier, but you wouldn't put it past him if he kept a secret stash just for him. Layer, for all his complaints, seemed to having fun of his own kind, leaning up against Ren in between songs and chattering about something or the other. Ren might be having fun as well, but it also looks like that Steve is about to start billowing out of his ears. It's hard to tell with these two. The level of curiosity takes you, and you edge closer to try to catch an earful of the conversation. Mine's ridiculous jokes of no further argument. You break my heart, big guy. I can't even leave you high and dry after all this love you put in. I need no more. Not a child. Outing will be all the better without you. There is a third week. And no second, the other. We think of the life will bring with you, Ricky and I. Trio, like a word. What's called a trio. Oh, what did I say? You cough politely and Ren goes rigid where he sits. Leora simply smiles, tilting his head to your direction. Ah, speak of the angel. Are you having fun, darling? Yes, I suppose so. Leora stands, resting a hand on Ren's shoulder, giving it a gentle squeeze. He's wholly ineffective. Every muscle in Ren's body seems to have tensed up. You watch the bard try to swallow his laughter as he twitches gently, patting him instead. I'm glad it's about time I played another song, I think. He flounces past you with a wink, lifting his hand to wave goodbye. Ren, darling, I'll bring you back a souvenir. Utterly lost, you slowly turns to Ren. He hasn't moved an inch since you made your presence known, and he still stubbornly refuses to look you in the eye. You don't think you'll get much out of him, but it could be worth a try. What was that? Please don't ask. But eventually all things come to an end. The evening draws to a close. You bid your farewells and a few remaining party goers still sitting around the fire and prepare yourself for bed. It feels good to tuck yourself in, letting your muscles relax and your mind wander. Today has already been an unusual ride. What will tomorrow bring? You look forward to finding out. If you turn out to be a ridiculously heavy sleeper, this is going to ruin the plan. I'll be quite upset about it. What? Ah, perfect. Good morning, Angel. Layor, is something wrong? You try to sit up, rubbing sleep from your eyes. You can't have been out for very long. It's still dark outside. Layor taps his index finger against his lips, which does nothing to ease your growing nerves. Did somebody attack in the night? You didn't hear a commotion. Maybe the others were taken. Everyone else is sleeping. It's all right. Oh, well, that's good. Why am I awake? I was really quite sad we'd have to miss the party, but fair is fair. The camp voted against the lot of us going. You blink, slowly trying to piece together the information in your sleep out of mind. You have no idea where this is going. But nobody said anything about just the two of us going, did they? Quite lucky, really. The city's celebrations are known for lasting well into the morning. We'll be late, naturally, but fashionably so. You woke me up to sneak out to a party? Yes? Your mind wanders back to the evening. All the secretive smiles and odd turns of phrase that had left you wondering suddenly make a lot more sense. Were you planning this all night? From the moment still suggested a vote. You don't know what it is, the absurdity, the childishness, the pettiness of it all, but you can't help the breathy laugh that escapes you. I should have known. When have you ever listened to Stills? He smothers his laughter with his hand, nodding. You've got him nailed. Really, I couldn't help myself. The moment someone tries to tell me what to do, I find myself doing the opposite. I'm guessing you have some kind of plan? Of course I do. I spent the better part of the evening seething and scheming. I can't take all the credit, however. Oh? Ren offered his help to me after a modest amount of prodding, begging, and blackmail. Of course he did. He's kindly offered to escort us to the city, more or less. He'll keep an eye out for our return as well. I did offer for him to join us, but he refused, so it'll just be the two of us for tonight. Well, if if that's what if that's if you want to come, of course. You do want to come, don't you? You're not like the rest of those snores. Why not? I'm awake now. Might as well stay up a bit longer. Lyra's face flashes with a complicated mix of emotions. After an uncharacteristically awkward pause, he sighs. I should have told you earlier in the evening. It was inconsiderate of me to ask you now, after I already woken you up. I'm sorry, Angel. I'm not displeased. It will still be fun to see you in your element. Lyra grins, equal parts relieved and thrilled. There's a wicked look in his eye that makes your eyebrow raise. And I can keep you out of trouble while we're there. I suppose that's only fair. I'll be on my best behavior just for you. It doesn't take long to gather up the things you need. Your sleepy limbs try to slow you down, but Lyra picks up the slack. You make an efficient team as you quickly pack necessities into a small bag. Lyra kneels and to slip your sandals onto your feet, fastening the clasp snugly. It's only when he makes a silly comment about liking the view from down there that you realize it would have been smarter to swap jobs around. He leads you past the other tents, pausing with a small gasp when a gentle snoring inside stops to share a nervous grin with you. There is an undeniable thrill to sneaking around at night. You feel your heart beating wildly inside your chest. The snoring resumes, and you sneak on past where Ren waits by a forest edge. Acceptable work. Let's go. You aren't quite sure about what Lior was expecting, bringing Ren along as a glorified bodyguard. But you're pretty sure it wasn't this. I won't be able to accompany you for the festivities, so I expect you both be on your best behavior. It may be an open invitation, but it is still a wedding. I don't want to hear about any thefts, arrests, or someone running off with the bride. Ren glances pointedly at Lior. I mean it. I can make sure you get there and back safely, but don't count on me to bust you out of jail if you do something ridiculous. And it goes without saying that you shouldn't have any more drinks tonight. Neither me nor Richie will carry you home should you fall asleep drunk in public again. Drinking in camp was already a risk considering what you had planned, and I doubt its effects have completely worn off yet. Ren, darling, yes? Typically, in my fantasies, the ones where you whisk me off into the woods in the dead of night, you do a lot less talking. Now that's more like it. Must you do this in front of Richie? True, my fantasies don't typically have you watching from the sidelines, Angel. Thank you. Usually you're joining in. He sighs deeply and Leo tosses a wink your way for good measure. Now this is more along the lines of what you were expecting. Ren's ever-present exasperation and Leo tossing out flirty lines at anything that moves. You feel amused, ambivalent, a little bad. Honestly, I'd probably feel a bit amused. Leo always seems to know the right things to say to get someone squirming, and Ren falls into his trap over and over again. Cracks you up. You don't say. We have some time before we make it to the city. You should tell me all about these fantasies. Really get to the juicy bits. Leo's eyes light up as Ren pinches his brow. They both know exactly where this is going. I mean, I think we both know who's gonna be on top in this situation, but which one of us gets to be in the middle? Gets to be? I think you've already already shown your hand there, Angel. Not that I can blame you. The heart wants what it wants, and I don't think Ren would mind, right, big guy? I'm not picky, personally. I'm going to leave you both here until still you were eaten by wolves. I'm not hearing a no. He huffs but stays quiet. You and Lawyer while away the journey with a slightly graphic debate about ideal fantasy three-ways, and for all his complaining, Ren never turns tail and leaves. He even throws in a suggestion or two eventually, which leaves in his face burning. The two of you are hooting with laughter. With time, the forest trees begin to sparse. The grass path beneath you turns to soil, and to stone. The chime of music in the distance rings in your ears. Ren hovers at the precipice, giving you both the firm nod. This is as far as I'm going. Have fun, stay safe, and be good. For a moment, you think Layer was going to wave him off with another tease about always being good, but instead he smiles, takes Ren's arm and squeezes gently. Thank you, darling. Get back safe. Thanks, Ren. Ren nods and turns to leave. Moments before he is out of earshot, Layer shouts, "Oh, and don't wait up, big guy. Somebody has to show the bride a good time." The soldier whips around, but Layor is already gone, beckoning you along with a wink. The city itself is beautifully decorated. The further you get into the heart of the city, the more extravagant it becomes. Citizens of varying levels of sobriety flit around like little birds. But beyond the dainty finery, you can see the barmen and entertainers still hard at work. You wince at the thought of their aching backs and feet. Layer seems to be full of boundless energy, however. He loops an arm around you and grins. There's actually more here than I thought there would be. You sound excited. Of course I am. I had to wait ages for everyone to nod off. I was a little worried we all missed fun. Didn't you say we'd be fashionably late? And we are. What luck my guesswork paid off. You shake your head, taking the momentary lapse in your conversation to scan your surroundings. There's a number of stalls still open, selling all kinds of baubles, drinks, and delicious things. Live performances hug every street corner, juggling, swallowing swords, and breathing fire. You won't run out of things to do, at least. Tucked between competing stalls, you spot a woman applying what looks like paint to someone's face. Layer follows your gaze and snorts. Face painting, a time-honored tradition, usually for children, though I suppose there's a market for drunk adults all the same. Within moments, the man being painted spins around towards his friends. Something large and phallic painted on the side of his face. The woman grimaces, her art tarnished. I don't suppose she gets many creative requests at this time of night. We could change that if you wanted to. I wish, but if we stumble home with clown paint all over our faces, I think the others might catch on to where we've been. Good points. That would be an embarrassing lecture. A shame, though. I used to love getting my face painted when I was a kid. You did? Of course. I asked for all kinds of outlandish designs. Other kids wanted to be prettied up like a fairy or a princess. I'd waddle over and ask them to paint me scales like a dragon. I bet that stood out in the crowd. Oh, didn't it? Oh, didn't it just? Not that I ever minded standing out. I'd chase the other kids around pretending to breathe fire on them. Sometimes the kids would pick up their wooden swords and pretend to slay me. Will you still get the scales painted if we could? Probably. It's a classic. I make a very pretty monster. Try you, Angel. He traces the slope of your face with his finger and grins. They could paint you some wings. A little on the nose, isn't it? That's half the fun. Not that it matters. You're pretty enough as you are. A sudden swelling of music gives you both a start. Turning away from the drunk jeering, you see a smattering of musicians on the street playing a wild, if slightly out of tune melody. Are they allowed to just start playing music like that? I wouldn't imagine it's a typical thing, but it's a party, and by the sounds of things, they aren't professional. Be nice. I didn't mean it like that. Music is a wonderful skill to learn. making it worse. What I meant is that most of the hired musicians will be inside or set up on stages, entertaining the nobles' inner circles or paid crowds. I imagine there's an organized set list, a break room with little snacks, and an overcharged entry fee. But you can't keep music from the poor. That's a lesson they'll never learn. If they can't reach it, then they'll make it themselves. You sound like you're speaking from experience. Oh no, quite the opposite in fact. I've never played the part of a poor, starving artist. My family were extremely supportive. When I insisted music was what I set my heart on. Reluctant perhaps, but always supportive. It's just music is a force of nature in my mind. As untamable as a sea or sky. Not that it will ever stop people from trying to tame it or stop it, or put a price on it. But they won't succeed, and that makes me happy. Every badly tuned note and impromptu song is an act of love. What could be better than that? You're rather sentimental today, Leor. Odds, I know. I haven't even had something to drink yet. Quick, distract me before I end up blubbering about the goodness of song again. Distract you? With what? Leor extends a hand, nodding in the direction of the musicians. People have begun to gather around them, dancing alone or with one another. Care to dance? You put your hand in his, and dancing in what he invited you out here to do is what he invited you to do. I can't read today. Dancing is what he invited you out here to do, after all. He pulls you towards the other dancers, close enough to not stand out, but with enough space to feel comfortable. You give him a gentle squeeze for the consideration. He lets you position yourself as you please, following your lead instead of dictating the pace. You dance confidence, hesitation, style. Probably dance with a little bit of style. You know what dancing is. The performance of movements typically has some kind of personal experience. And from what you observe, dancers usually encourage others to dance as if no one is watching. And that's exactly what you intend to do. Oh my! Leor lets out a startled laugh as you throw your hands up in the air, letting your body move to the music however it seems fit. I'll admit, this wasn't quite what I was expecting. I'm dancing, aren't I? That you are. Aren't you going to join in? He doesn't hesitate after that, reaching out to take one of your hands and twirling around you. Leor dances with wild abandon. It's a stompy, spinning mess of a dance, but a pair of you wear matching grins, breathless from laughter. As the song ends, he clumsily pulls you close and your bodies press together. You stumble and step on his foot, and he can't hold his giggles, dropping his head against your shoulder. That was terrible. Indeed. Again, naturally. After a few songs, a growing ache in your muscles and need for fresh air, and water is enough to have you both wandering away from the impromptu dance floor. You settle yourselves at the edge of the street corner, nursing flasks of dubiously quality beverages, and watching the celebration unfold. I wonder if the others have noticed what's on. I doubt it. I imagine they were all sweetly tucked in their beds, blissfully unaware. You think so? No, just wishful thinking. Even if nobody notices our empty beds, I wouldn't put it past Ren to snitch. Betrayal from our closest confidant. He's a sweetie. It was nice of him to look out for us, but if Stills asks him where we are, he'll fold. I can feel it. You know, I never asked. What is your deal with him? Stills? Mm-hmm. You're always kind of, how should I put it, cold towards him? Admittedly, I doubt we will ever be the best of friends. I don't know if we'll ever really get along, even. Yes, but why? You get along with basically everyone you've ever met, Leor. You're sweet. It's hard to explain, honestly. Still just embodies a number of things that He goes quiet, his gaze elsewhere. Leor? Is everything okay? He lets out an abrupt, startled laugh, pointed back at the dancers. Is that Greer? Try to follow his gaze past the dancers and musicians to the street opposite, where a man in a mask is tucking slipping a very expensive-looking bottle into his bag. What is he doing here? By the looks of it, stealing. Do you think he noticed us? Not yet. I shouldn't be surprised. Of course he snuck out here. Rude of him not to extend an invite, really. Greer looks up from his bottle smuggling and catches sight of the two of you. His eyebrows shoot up and shoot up to his hairline. Even through the fabric of his mask, you can see his jaw drop. Layra snorts, lifting up an arm to wave daintily. There is a moment of pause before Greer is stopping through the crowd of dancers towards you both. What are you doing here? I think we could ask you the same, sailor. I take it you're enjoying the festivities? It's fine. I thought you two went to sleep. I did for a bit, then Layra snuffed me out. I woke you up first. You make me sound like a midnight lurker. Of course you do. It's just the two of you, isn't it? I'm not going to turn around and realize the whole camp is here, and everybody changed their mind right after I left. Just us. Clear sides were relieved, shoulders sagging. Right. Good. I'll let you have your fun then. He turns to leave before hesitating, making a placating gesture with his hands. And of course, you know, I never saw you two, and you never saw me, yeah? We won't snitch. Well, they won't. I make no promises. Greer's eyes narrow and suspicious. I'll nick a pretty thing for ya. Done. I've never seen you before in my life. Pleasure doing business with you two. Or not. Don't know who you are. He vanishes back into the crowd with a wink. He's a fascinating little man, isn't he? That's one way to put it. You finish your drinks and return the glass to their rightful owners. Layra bumps elbows against you as you walk further into the city. The night is still young, Angel, and after you were kind enough to entertain my dancing whims, it's only fair for you to pick the next activity. Your mind wanders, considering possible choices. Unlike Layra, you didn't come to an event with a plan in mind. Scanning your surroundings, usually your eyes land upon the games, the food, the shows. Ooh, honestly, I always go with the food. If the food is good, then it's good. I want to stick to the whole green theme for me, but just again, green is my favorite color, but you know what? The shows. Why not? At every street corner, there is someone putting on some kind of show. It would be a waste of time, a waste to come all this way and not give them an audience they deserve. You nudge Layra's elbow and point to a small boxy stage not far from you. It'd be fun. Could be inspiring even. Could also be really bad. I think we'll get a laugh out of them either way. The pair of you mesh yourselves into the crowd. It seems as if the last performance had just ended, and there's a short break for performers. You and Layra use the pause to theorize over the next performance. I think it'll be singer. Or no, it could be a juggling act. There's a still in fashion, I think. I think it will be a mime. Oh, what? A mime? I didn't know they still existed. I think they're the height of a stage comedy. I really can't tell if you're joking. Why would I be joking? That's what a mime is for. You know, before I settled on being a bard, I considered being a comedian of some kind. Like a court jester? You joke, but I've heard that they pay great pay. Free roam of the castle, and what more else could you need? Maybe that was my true calling all along. I don't believe you. You'd hate being stuck in a castle somewhere. You're right. I always wanted to be a bard. And you weren't funny enough to be a jester. What's that supposed to mean? But the person who clambers onto the stage is neither a singer, juggler, or mime, but instead a young, heavily freckled man holding an incredibly amateurly made puppet. Ah, ventriloquism! It has felt freckles sewed into its pink fabric face. Layra's jaw drops. the man launches into the worst puppet-driven Connie routine either of you have ever seen. He pauses at all the wrong moments, and all the jokes tilt to the wrong side of Randy. Within a matter of minutes, Layer is bent over, bright red in the face, excusing himself from the crowd. You aren't faring any better. You stick it out for one more oddly placed line about puppet hole before you too are definitely extracting yourself from the chuckling audience. You find Lawyer in the corner, practically heaving with laughter. That was mortifying. Oh, Angel, I'm never letting you pick the date spot ever again. You take turns picking activities after that, seeing as many of the city's sights as you can cram into your nightly escapade. There's fine drinks to sample, musicians to marvel at, snacks to nibble at, and smattering of dancers all around. It really is a shame the others didn't want to come. It's their loss, unfortunately. You can't force someone to have fun. Though I have tried. Honestly, I wish we could stay longer. It would be fun to see what they had planned for the next few days. In my experience, the first night is always the best. By day 3, most people are too dead on their feet to be much fun. I don't disagree, though. This has been one of the best nights I've had in a long time. But there will be other parties, other events, other weddings. Once I even played music at a celebration being held for a noble lady's recent divorce. I take it she was pleased to be rid of him? Oh, she was thrilled. As I recall, she drank 2 bottles of wine and then kissed her lady-in-waiting. What I mean to say is that people will always find a reason to celebrate. This night has been fun, but it doesn't have to be the last. Next time you hear about some open invitation festivities, you'll bring me along, right? Of course! We're partners in partying now, you and I. Even if it was an invite-only affair, I'd find a way to smuggle you inside. Already assuming you're on the guest list, huh? Of course! I'd be on the guest list. You sputter out a laugh, turning away to discreetly roll your eyes. He's been this way for as long as you've known him. That cocksure confidence, the glibness, the tinge of humor in his every word. At times it's funny, others frustrating, but tonight at least, you're glad for his company. The night air is warm and welcoming, and only one question lingers. What next? You turn to Leo to ask, but it's his turn to pick the activity now, even though you could put money on him asking for another turn on the dance floor. But he isn't there. You check around and make sure he hasn't wandered off somewhere, but he's not by any of the market stalls. Maybe someone asked him to dance? You wander back to the groups of dancers, but there's no sign of his flashy clothes. Lyra isn't exactly easy to lose in a crowd, but now he's nowhere to be found. You're alone. The night doesn't seem quite so welcoming anymore, and once the bustling crowd now seems dangerous and imposing, you don't know this city. How the stars are you going to get home? You feel... Honestly, I'd probably feel a bit overwhelmed. Have there always been this many people around? This many strangers? The day seems endless. Would you even be able to find your way out? Would any strangers help you? Your body feels hot and cold all at once, sweaty, your heart starts to pound. Everything's too bright, too loud. You're alone and you don't know where you are. You shut your eyes. Take a moment to try to steel yourself. Calm your breathing, sort through your thoughts. Anything to make the situation a little clearer. Figure out what you're going to do. But you're in the middle of the festival still. The fact makes itself frustratingly clear. People knock into you, everyone's chatter and laughter is too loud, interrupting your pacing thoughts. Then all of a sudden you feel warm, soft hands wrap over yours. You hadn't realized your fists were clenched. Your eyes fly open. Let's take a walk, Angel. He steers you out of the busy streets without another word. You want to prod him for answers right there in the middle of the open road, but you can't quite find your voice. Together you walk out of the heart of the city. Gradually the thick crowd becomes solo stragglers, surrounding music a distant melody. Eventually, he tucks you to an empty road in the outskirts. You strain your ears, but you can only hear the faintest hum of faraway chatter. You open your mouth to speak, but Lyora gets there first. Are you alright? You left me alone in a city I don't know. I did. That was a silly question. I'm sorry. Why? I thought we were having a nice time. We were. I mean, I was. I am even. Though I know you can't exactly say the same now. But then why just run off? Where'd you even go? I saw something that I thought you would like. Why not just tell me? I wanted it to be a surprise. Thank you for coming all this way with me. I figured it would only take a few seconds. You wouldn't even notice it was gone. I was wrong. It took a little longer to procure than I thought. He laughs, embarrassed, and gently plucks something out of his pocket. I hope you'll still like it. I didn't mean to sour our evening. Aww. With a flourish, Lyra presented you a perfect pink peony. You see, as we were walking, I spotted the very bride this festival was for, talking to the city folk, doing the rounds, so to speak. And she had this gorgeous, huge bouquet with her. Marvelous flower. The woman has taste. I had made up my mind before I had time to think it through. I simply had to bring you one of these flowers. You deserve the whole blasted bouquet, of course, but I didn't fancy my chances with that. You stole one of the bride's flowers from me? Stole is a strong word. No, I simply struck up a conversation with her. Told her I'd come to this beautiful celebration of love with an utter sweetheart, that I was just desperate to show them how much I cared for them. But I had spent all my money to bring them here, and now I was simply penniless. And how could I possibly face my sweetheart at such an event empty-handed? She positively swooned over the story, almost tripped over herself to offer me a flower out of her bouquet. You conned the bride! It's barely a con. I'm here with another sweetheart whom I value deeply. No word a lie. You're a fool. A wicked one, no less, tricking the bride with my pretty words, just to impress you with a flower. I feel like a schoolboy again. You trick brides often, don't you? No, this trick was just for you. Reach out and take the flower from his hand and lay her beams from ear to ear. What do you say? It's beautiful. The flower is beautiful. Thank you, Lyra. Really. It's nothing. I wanted to make you smile, and I fear I did quite the opposite. You smile. Wait, it still says the dialogue box is me. You smile at reflex. He laughs, wiping the mock sweat from his brow. There it is. You have a beautiful smile, Richie. I don't think I remind you that enough. Oh? Embarrassment is a cute look on you too, of course. Now you're just teasing me. And after you so readily forgave me too, I am a wicked man. I like you as you are, wicked or not. He sighs fondly, turning his face towards the sky. Stars twinkled gleefully. You are many things, Angel. An excellent dancing partner, a pretty face, a witty conversationalist. But most importantly, you are unabashedly yourself. I will treasure the days we spent together, and always. Hopefully there will be many more of them to come. I could toast to that. But it's getting late, or should I say early. If we stay much later, we'll end up back in camp after sunrise. It's time to go already? We can't put tomorrow off forever. Stars know I have tried. Though I'm sure there's plenty of mischief we could find ourselves in on the way home. I think we'll be more likely to find the trouble back in camp than on the road. Do you have a plan to sneak back in? Not in the slightest. You walk back to camp The walk back to camp is full of quiet revelry. As much as leaving the celebration behind is bittersweet, neither of you can deny the sleepiness dragging in your heels. It's been a long, eventful night. Lara fills the silence with potential songs about your escapades tonight, testing out lyrics and then weaseling you for your opinion. What about the sweet angel's dance that had the crowd in trance? For their dainty white skirts that flowed skywards. Stop writing lyrics out my arse. But the walk was admittedly peaceful. You find yourself looking forward to your bedroll more and more with every step. And though he doesn't admit it, there's a telling slump in Lara's shoulders that tell you he feels the same. You even spot him trying to stifle a yawn. Scandalous. Camp is a welcome sight. Lara insists on walking you back to your tent, even though his own bed isn't more than a few feet away. Did you walk me back to my tent where I used to stretch the night along? The night out along? Maybe. Can you blame me? No, it's been a good night. That it has. Lara rests his hand upon your arm and gives it a gentle squeeze. His eyes are warm and inviting. A gentle, unknown feeling washes over you. The feeling that something is about to happen lingers in the air unspoken. Until a loud, abrupt cough cuts through the atmosphere like a hot knife. What sort of time do you call this? Shit. You're inclined to agree. Good evening? It's the middle of the night. Where have you two been? Our tent? Try again. Lara glances at you pleadingly. You can fix this, but how? Never lie. Confused. Wait, isn't there? Oh yeah, here we go. There we go. More save files. Never lie. Confused. Lara glances at you pleadingly. How can you fix this? Middle one. Not that it is particularly your place to ask, but I was having trouble sleeping. It's still an unknown process to me, trying to sleep in your realm. I often struggle with both the act of it and the dreams that may follow. It seems I am prone to these nightmares, as you call them. My dreams are sometimes lucid, but the feelings of stress in them remain. Then I found myself unable to get adequate rest, so I sought help. Lara was kind enough to lend me his hand and company, even his raunchy joke of trying to tire me out with his body helped put me at ease. Still, his eyes fall soft at the edges, his smile becoming sad. You know I am intimately familiar with dreams, yes? I could easily soothe them for you. All you have to do is ask. I didn't want to wake you, but perhaps I'll take you up on it in the future. For the time being, however, the order was satisfactory company. What a glowing review. You're welcome. Next time I expect more lullabies. Want me to tuck you into, give you a kiss on the head? I hope you accept the addition to your subpar bedtime behaviors. Subpar? I believe we have gone off topic. Right, thank you for your concern, Stills. Apologies for waking. No need. I hope you managed to get some rest. Sleep well, both of you. Stills steps back into his tent, thoroughly convinced. Leora gives you a wide-eyed glance before laughing in disbelief. That works like a charm, Angel. I can't believe you treat him so easily. Stills is a reasonable man. I simply appeal to his better judgment. He isn't type to admonish someone for seeking help. When you put it like that, I almost feel bad for tricking him. Almost. My desire to not get told off far outweighs it, of course. Though really, subpar, you could do far better than that. It was more believable that way. Stills would have caught on if I started singing your praises. Still, a little bit goes a long way, Angel. You could have said that it was good enough for perfectly adequate, and he would have believed you just fine. You called me subpar on purpose. If you want me to reevaluate, then you'll just have to prove me wrong. And if you want me to tuck you in and sing you lullabies, all you have to do is ask. -2 points for the noisiness. Hey, gentle laughter peters off into the warm silence of the evening. You take a moment to enjoy the little things, Lyra's gentle breathing, the rustling of leaves in the warm breeze, the distant snore from the scattering tents. That sense of something, anticipation perhaps, fills you once again in the restored calmness of the night. Your bed beckons, but you linger in the tent's entrance for a moment more. Lyra smiles, taking full advantage of your momentary hesitance to beckon you down towards him. You tilt your head, half expecting him to whisper another silly joke or inconvenient scheme, but it wouldn't be likely for him to try to drag you even out a little longer. Instead, he gently leans his forehead against your own, closing his eyes, humming slightly, his warm hand cups your cheeks. After a moment, he steps away, clears his throat, and gives you an odd smile. That was how we used to say goodnight at home, and I haven't done that in years, but it felt right. Oh. He waves as he turns to leave, but still smiling to himself. Nighty-night, Angel. Good night, Leor. When you tuck yourselves into bed that night, your body feels light despite the ache in your feet. Peony sits safely in one of your clay drinking cups, the stem submerged in water. Your last thoughts as you drift off to sleep are filled with flowers and the distant chime of music. Aww, well, that was a sweet route. That was really cute. I like that a lot. There we go. 3 of the 7. Whew. All right. So, I'm gonna leave this episode here for now. So in the next episode, we're gonna go ahead and do Glyph, and then we'll move on to Ren. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't have a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a